The station Central Florida turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Orlando, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Killer escapees on the lam. A manhunt right now for 3 convicted killers. They broke out of the Arizona State Prison at Golden Valley yesterday, says Sheriff Tom Sheehan.
The information that we were being provided by the prison is that they went through a fence and were able to cut their way out of the prison.
Escape killers split up, 2 joining a woman to hijack a tracker trailer, kidnapping the driver and another man. They abandoned the rig today, all considered armed and dangerous. 2 of the escapees last seen in Flagstaff, 150 miles from the prison. A disaster in northwest Pakistan after a week of the heaviest monsoon rains in about a century. Flooding's left more than 800 dead. There's disease and homelessness. Those rains and flooding have destroyed 100 homes and long stretches of farmland across the border in eastern Afghanistan, killing at least 64, with 61 others injured. Considered the most important name in Russian political opposition, Boris Nemtsov is arrested, along with at least 95 others, in demonstrations across Russia against restrictions on freedom of assembly. Russia is struggling to get something else under control, wildfires in 14 locations, says ABC's Tom Rivers at our foreign desk in London.
A state of emergency has been declared in 14 of Russia's federal districts, and some 240,000 are deployed to fight the flames. More than 24 have lost their lives since the fires broke out over the hottest weather seen in Russia since records began over 100 years ago.
After 22 square miles burned north of Los Angeles, the latest on the Palmdale wildfire from LA Fire Captain Roland Sprewell.
Where we stand right now is at about 62% containment, but that means we have a little less than 40% still to be contained, and that's the work that we have to put in today.
Crews are on alert for possible hot wind gusts. Right now, roads and airspace closed near and over the Astor Estate in Rhinebeck, New York, north of New York City, anticipating a wedding in an hour of Chelsea Clinton and Mark Mesvinsky. You're listening to ABC News.
Now, a WDBO news update from Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Orlando temperature is 95 degrees. I'm Nancy Alvarez with our top local stories this hour. Investigators say they have found the remains of a woman who has been missing since 2006 in Cocoa. This morning, officials announced they found what they believe to be the remains of Doris Knowles in a wooded area near State Road 524. Knowles was 22 years old in 2006 when she disappeared. The case for the one-time beauty contestant from the Bahamas had gone cold, but recently investigators got a tip from a suspect in the case. They say the suspect even went with them to the search area to point out where to look. Police have not released any more information about that suspect. Police in Sanford are looking into a drive-by shooting that sent 2 teens to the hospital, according to officials. They were sitting in front of a house at the corner of Mangostine Avenue and 14th Street in Sanford just before 6 this morning when someone drove by and shot them. An 18-year-old male had to be airlifted to the hospital in serious condition. A 16-year-old female was also shot. Her condition is unknown. Police have not released very many details, but they do say the suspect was driving a gray Dodge Charger. Hundreds of people lined up at the old Amway Arena today hoping to land a job. People lined up out the door hoping to get a chance to work at the new Amway Center when it opens in October. We're told close to 1,000 jobs were up for grabs, everything from bartenders, ushers, and security guards to janitors. The health department has signs up this afternoon warning people about unsafe levels of bacteria near the Cocoa Beach Pier. This is the second time this month officials have posted signs about high levels of bacteria being found in the water there. Many beachgoers we spoke with said they really didn't even notice the signs. Those signs will stay up until the health department determines the levels of bacteria are safe. For more on these stories and the important local news of the day, be sure to watch Channel 9 Eyewitness News tonight at 6 and 11. WDBO News Time is 4 past the hour. Traffic and weather are next.
Award-winning news.
I like to get the information from what I feel like is a balanced perspective.
Depend on News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station.
Hey, Scott Inez back. You know, I'm a big fan of the one and only Massey Cadillac. Not only can you trust them, folks, but they are always giving back to the community. I am here with GM Bill Hull, and I actually saw pictures on the Massey Facebook page with your crew helping to build a house with Habitat for Humanity this past month. You guys sure work hard for this community, Billy.
Well, Scott, at Massey Cadillac, we just try and do what's right.
And right now, Bill, you guys at Massey Cadillac are offering great deals, including leasing the all-new 2010 SRX crossover from $429, or a 2010 CTS for $349 a month for 27 months.
Yeah, Scott, it's amazing. And we also have 0% financing on every model, and some of them up to 72 months.
Massey Cadillac North, 2 miles north of Colonial on John Young Parkway, or south, just south of the Florida Mall on OBT, and always online at MasseyCadillac.com.
With approved credit, CTS $19.99 down, SRX $29.87 down.
Good afternoon. It's 5:05 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, and it's time to check in with the 24-hour WDBO Safe Touch Security Traffic Network. Here's Doug Stewart.
Once again, I-4 eastbound slow through State Road 535. I-4 westbound congestion approaching the Central Florida Parkway to State Road 535. Still no problems on State Road 408 or any of the toll roads. Some police activity in the area of Paramore and Jefferson downtown. Lane closures in that area, mostly between Robinson and Washington on Paramore. This traffic report brought to you by Central Florida News 13. Stay connected to the new CFNnews13.com. More video, easier to use, more what you want. CFnews13.com, powered by News 13. On the station with traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, I'm Doug Stewart.
Chance of early evening thunderstorms tonight, then cooling off very slowly through the 80s. Overnight lows will be near 79 with a mostly clear sky by morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, highs near 95, and a 40% chance of more thunderstorms. And Orion in the tropics is tracking a tropical wave right now near Africa. It'll be towards the Caribbean by the end of this work week. In Severe Weather Center 9, I'm meteorologist Matt Makins.
And the latest scan of the WDBO weather radar shows some light showers popping up in the Oviedo area. However, there are some heavier showers in Marion County and just north of Volusia and Flagler that are they're all pushing down this way. So we'll keep you informed as they move into the Central Florida area and let you know what to expect as the storms get here. It is 92 in Sanford and 93 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
The following hour was paid for by the host and does not reflect the opinion of AM 580 WDBO. The Pool Fanatics are on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Brought to you each week by your host, Tony Caruso, and his company, TC Water Features. If you have questions about pool maintenance or have been thinking about adding a pool, spa area, or waterfall, you need to call now at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Now, the Pool Fanatics.
And welcome to the show. This is fun. This is our inaugural. This is our debut. And if you have a pool, you want to listen. If you don't have a pool, what are you waiting for? Now is the best time ever to put a pool in your backyard and totally change your lifestyle right here in Florida. We've got Tony Caruso with us, the owner of Orlando Luxury Pools, TC Water Features. And this guy has a background in pools. He's ready to answer any of your questions at 800-329-5858, 407-290-0058. Remember, the only dumb question is the question that is unasked. Everybody has questions about their pool, about keeping it sparkling and pristine, about adding things to their pool, about water features and some of the cool things and some of the unbelievably extravagant things that some people in Central Florida have done to make their backyards just a wonderland. And it can be done by this man right here, Tony Caruso. Tony, open up the show, bud.
Hi, my name's Tony Caruso. I'm the owner and president of TC Water Features, where amazing things can happen in your backyard. We're a trusted and reliable company in Central Florida for over 28 years. TC Water Features has what it takes to transform your existing landscape or pool into your private getaway they've been longing for. With ideas, inspirations, new products, award-winning designs and elements, coupled with exceptional care, service, and knowledge, the process will be as gentle as a summer breeze. Large or small, simple or extravagant, we'll exceed your expectations with quality, workmanship, and attention to detail. Looking for the way to save energy cost? We proudly offer energy-efficient pool equipment by Hayward Pool Products. Schedule a consultation today. Call 407-282-4911. That's 407-282-4911, where amazing things can happen in your backyard.
All right, 800-329-5858 is the number to call toll-free if you got questions for Tony. 407-290-0058. On this debut inaugural show, Tony, kind of bring our listeners up to date on your background with swimming pools. It is very impressive.
I entered into the swimming pool industry around 1981. I was asked by a childhood friend of mine to come help him plumb some commercial pools. And I did so for about 2 years. And after about 2 years, I got really good at doing what I was doing because I had a plumbing background from out of high school. And after about 2 years, I became a sub and progressed on. And about 3 years later, I said, you know what, I want to work by myself and become a company. So I incorporated in '85, and my brother Tom started working for me. And as time moved on, my wife come to work for me, and all my brothers, I have 3 other brothers, Bud, Mike, and Tom. They all work for me. Youngest son, Chris, works for me. My oldest son, Anthony, worked for me as well. But we've moved on to do some really awesome projects in Central Florida. We build fountains, we build pools, spas, waterfalls, water features. We do renovations, new construction. Basically, anything you can imagine on a swimming pool, we can do. What's neat about us is when we started in the pool industry, we started building new pools and renovating. We didn't cross-connect because, we needed to change, get a new field. We have been on renovations and new construction from the beginning. That gives us a little bit background of how people built pools 25 and 30 years ago. I've renovated pools older than 40 years, some 50 years.
Wow.
So what's neat about it is every job is unique. Swimming pools do not come in a box. Everything is made from scratch. Everything from surveying the backyard to, start excavation to completion of the project. What's neat about TC Water Features being a family business, I visit every job. I meet every customer. And my goal is to please all of my customers. Do a very good job at doing it. And we do that through quality, workmanship, and organization in my business is exceptional. So we take a lot of pride in doing what we're supposed to do and when we're supposed to do it.
People hear the terrible stories, but, if they go with a pool company that's been here since 1985, they know that they're not going to do a contract, pay some guy a lot of money, and end up with a hole in their backyard. Matter of fact, if somebody digs a hole in their backyard and they don't finish it, you can come and finish it.
Well, we've done that on many cases. About 5 or 6 years ago, there was a company in town that took 22 people to the cleaners, I guess is what you can say, and I stepped up and helped quite a few of them finish their pool for below cost. So it feels good that I can give back to my community. And in turn, they write letters, and some of the letters I get are just really phenomenal. So it's good to have feeling to know that you can help people out. But I ask you this, before you hire a contractor, do your research.
Yeah.
It's free information. MyFloridaLicense.com will get you the information on who you want to do business with.
The people that listening to News Talk AM 580 WDBO love numbers. Now, anybody that's had the great hope and fun of getting up in an airplane and taking off from OIA knows something cool about Florida. When you're up going over Orlando and you're flying over this great state of ours, when you look down, there's lots of swimming pools. Have you ever wondered how many? Well, Tony brought us some statistics today that I could not believe. We got a bunch of swimming pools.
We got a bunch of swimming pools. We got a bunch of lakes, streams, canals, and ponds, too. But I'll give you some good information. There's 10 million swimming pools in the United States. 10 million. That's a lot of swimming pools. 360,000 of those pools are public pools used year-round. So swimming is something that we do year-round in this country. Florida's population is about 18,537 people. Wow, we have 1,200,000 swimming pools, in-ground swimming pools. This is not above ground. This is not vinyl liner. This does include spas, and this is pools that are only been permitted. That's one swimming pool for every 18 people. That's amazing. California has 36 million people. They have 2 million swimming pools. Another amazing fact. One swimming pool for every 18 people. So, in Arizona, one more. Arizona has 6 million people. They have 615,000 pools. So there's one swimming pool for every 10 people in Arizona. That's how big swimming pools are in the Sun Belt states. It's amazing how many pools there are and how old some of these pools are. Some good information since statistics were brought out in 2006. There's 775,000 swimming pools that are older than 10 years.
Wow.
Which puts about 240,000 of those pools that are newer than 2000 to current date.
Now, let's put that in perspective. You in the pre-show meeting said something to me that really hit home. People want to talk about their dollars, where they put their hard-earned dollars. They're going to go out and buy a new car. For Tony, let's say a new car now averages 30 grand. Can I get a pool for 30 grand?
Certainly you can.
How long is my pool going to last?
Your pool should last a lifetime if it's built by a quality contractor. Put a lot of good product in the pool, spend a lot of good time on supervision. At the end of the day, swimming pools are going to last longer than your home. Think about this, folks. The swimming pool's in ground. It's a concrete structure. If it's made right, done right, it'll last forever.
So let's talk about dollar for dollar. The automobile is going to last you 4 years.
And you're going to trade
maybe 5, and you're going to trade it in.
You're going to trade it in.
The automobile is worth 50%, and that's an accepted figure, the minute you drive it off the lot. All right? And it's kind of there. It's for transportation. The swimming pool changes your entire life.
It's there every day. Every day you look outside, there is your swimming pool.
There's your vacation.
That's your vacation. What's nice about the swimming pool is every pool's different. You can't duplicate swimming pools to be this. If I build a pool for one house and they want the same exact pool, I could have a hard time duplicating the exact same swimming pool.
And I want to talk about family values for just a minute, and then we're going to have to take a break. But I see families that if they'll work together and come to you and build a swimming pool, the kids have something active to do. They're not sitting around thinking what mischief they can get into next. The neighbors down the block aren't saying, yeah, let's go out and throw dirt clods at cars going down I-4. They're going to be swimming, which also gets them out of the house and gets them a little exercise instead of exercising their thumbs on a video game.
Swimming pools are outstanding fun. It's a low impact. Let's say if you want a swimming pool for therapy purposes, it's an excellent low impact exercise. It does a wonderful job. The family fun, the entertainment. I got 3 grandkids, and every other weekend they come over and spend the entire weekend at the house, and we swim the entire weekend. It's so much fun to be together with the family and my children as well. It's exceptional outdoor activity fun.
Most homes you go to now, the kids will be in one room, mom will be in another room, dad's in another room in his man cave. But you go to a home that's got a pool, everybody is out there, even if they're not in the water. They're gathered around the summer kitchen, or they're gathered around talking at the pool. All right, new technology and trends. What's new out there that you probably don't even know? We'll talk about that when we come back. 800-329-5858 or 407-290-0058. We're talking pools today. We are the Pool Fanatics, and we're right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
When severe weather threatens Central Florida, turn to News Talk AM 580 WDBO with the largest staff of meteorologists in Central Florida.
Orlando could pick up another 2 to 4 inches. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado.
You'll know about severe storms before they hit your neighborhood. Remember, when severe weather threatens, turn to News Talk AM 580 WDBO for complete storm center coverage. Whenever it happens, wherever it happens, depend on it.
You know the who is not a question. You know that Boston is more than a city. And your pink came with a Floyd. You knew Neil when he was young. And Joplin was the lady that made the crowds go gaga. You fought the law but loved the police. The only pop you ever listened to was Iggy. And the only idol you ever cared about is Billy. You know how to rock. And you know where to rock. The Seminole Hard Rock. Whether you're ready to hit the slots, the blackjack tables, or a table at one of our amazing award-winning restaurants, from Council Oaks Steakhouse to Rockin' Raw Sushi, Floyd's Ultra Dining, or the 24/7 dining at the Green Room, it's your place to play hard. The Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, off I-4 at Orient Road and Hillsborough Avenue. Play hard. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Well, our bathroom and kitchen project is underway. Scott and Ez back for S&W Kitchens. So we're on to the next phase now, folks. Krista, our designer, did a wonderful job in designing what we wanted, and now the S&W folks are putting the plans into action. They started tearing down the guest bathroom, and the thing that we noticed immediately is that Scott and his crew have been very conscientious about cleaning up at the end of the day. Heck, they don't even mind our golden retriever Max looking in on them every now and then. We're looking forward to the new cabinets and sinks in there. I am going to update you throughout the entire process. You know, we had been thinking about remodeling for so long. My wife and I, very, very happy that we finally made that call to S&W Kitchens. Folks, visit S&W Kitchens, spell it out, S, the word, and, wkitchens.com, or call this number, 407-965-1120. That's 407-965-1120, S&W Kitchens.
All right, Ted, I'm going to show you a series of ink blots. Tell me what you see.
Okay, Doc.
We'll start with this one.
Oh, that looks like a heaping plate of Wright brand bacon. Ooh, It's cut so thick.
How about this one?
I think that's a Wright Brand Bacon volcano spewing hearty bacon lava.
And this one?
Well, that looks to me like two birds with bacon wings fighting over a massive strip of crispy, perfect Wright Brand bacon.
Okay, and these?
That's a bacon supernova. That's a bacon tuxedo. That's a supersonic bacon train.
Ted.
That's a bacon kayak.
Ted.
Yeah?
It's clear you're obsessed with Wright Brand bacon.
Well, I'd like a second opinion.
You don't agree with my diagnosis?
No, actually, I just want to look at those pictures of that mouth-watering bacon again.
Craving heartier tasting, thicker cut bacon? Then you'll love Wright Brand bacon. Wright Brand is everything you love about bacon, only bigger. Wright Brand bacon. Bigger, better bacon. Find out more at biggerbetterbacon.com.
Going on now at Courtesy Honda, it's our summer clearance event. So we've discounted every new Honda. Any questions?
What do you mean, discounted?
That means every Honda on our lot is clearance priced.
Every new Honda?
That's right. Civics, Pilots, Odysseys, CRVs. You can even get an Accord for the price of a Civic.
Wow. Is anything else on sale?
During the summer clearance event, every Courtesy Honda is clearance priced. So you can buy any new Honda with 0% financing or zero money down.
You're not like other car dealers, are you?
We're Courtesy. We're AutoNation. We're changing everything. The summer clearance is going on now at Courtesy Honda on Reinhardt Road, just south of the Seminole Town Center Mall. Hurry, time's running out to get any new Honda with zero down or drive with 0% financing. Even get Accords for the payment of a Civic.
Who are you going to call? Call Courtesy!
Any questions? CourtesyHonda.com.
Gather the family and join WDBO at Hannity's Freedom Concert, August 14th at the UCF Arena. Concert and ticket info found at WDBO.com, keyword freedom.
All right, you too are a pool fanatic. You know you are. Everybody loves a swimming pool, and you're listening to the Pool Fanatics on News Talk AM 580 WDBO, 800-329-5858, 407-290-0058. Tony Caruso, the owner of Orlando Luxury Pools by the TC Water Features. We were talking in the first segment about how many pools there are out there, folks. There are a lot of them. And the value that you get when you have a swimming pool and the way that it changes your lifestyle. Let's talk a little bit about the new technology and the trends in pools, because if somebody has a pool in their backyard, you said the average life is pretty old sometimes, but it's amazing the new things that are happening in swimming pools and water features.
Some of the new things that are out, that have been out, that are going to become part of law in 2011, actually July of 2011, is pump technology. What's amazing about pump technology is I'll give you good information. If you had a 30,000-gallon swimming pool, the code says that you can turn that body of water over in 12 hours. Do you know you only need 41.66 gallons of water a minute to make that happen? Another interesting thing is there's not a pump on the market today small enough to do that. So even if in a half horsepower pump, that's producing more water than you really need. So where the trends are going to in the next couple of years is instead of taking 12 hours to turn your water, they're going to do it in 360 minutes or 6 hours, which still means that most pool pumps, 90% of all pool pumps on the market today prior to 2008 are too big. Can you imagine that? Too big.
Let's talk maintenance for a minute, Tony. I know a lot of people think about, maybe they had a pool 10 years ago or 15 years ago. They don't understand the technology of the new filtration and the chemicals and the way to keep the pool clean. It's not a hassle anymore, is it?
It's gotten a lot easier. And, of course, consumer questions are bringing demand in for newer products. Currently today, people hear about we have several ways to sanitize a pool. You have liquid chlorine, very inefficient. You have chlorine tablets. Once you put a tablet in a chlorinator, it dissolves. You have to put more tablets in there. Or we do a lot of salt chlorination. People call them salt pools. In reality, it's called electrolytic conversion. We're taking a little bit of salt, a little bit of water, a little bit of electricity. It produces chlorine, 100% pure chlorine. So the neat thing about chlorine generators is they make 100% pure chlorine. Once it makes that chlorine, it returns to salt again. Could you imagine if you put a chlorine tablet in your chlorine feeder, and it dispensed, you got to put more in. But once you put salt in the pool, it stays in the pool, and the only way it goes away is through dilution, rainwater or addition of fresh water. So it's amazing. You can reduce your chemical costs just in doing salt chlorination by as much as about 70 to 80%. And at the end of the day, you will have a healthier, happier pool.
How do you introduce the salt to the pool?
It's poured. In today's technology, we use table salt. Believe it or not, we buy table salt, food-grade table salt, in 40, 50, or 80-pound bags, and that's added directly into the pool. Once you put it in the pool, you brush it, it dissolves very quickly, and it starts producing chlorine. Generally, on a new startup, about 24 hours later, you'll activate the system, and it'll start producing chlorine. Here's what's truly amazing about it. If you put a chlorine tablet in a chlorine feeder, imagine a roller coaster. You put it in on Saturday, the chlorine level rises. Wednesday, Thursday, it starts to drop back down. You put more in. With a chlorine generator, you can set a value in your pool. For instance, you want to maintain 3 parts per chlorine. We set the dial. It produces the same amount of chlorine 24 hours a day if the pump's running, typically 8 hours a day. For 8 hours a day, it's making the same amount of chlorine. So you have a better balanced, a better sanitized pool, doing so by then using a tablet, for instance.
Well, then do you still have to take all those readings and all that stuff in the water samples?
Sure you do. What doesn't change in the complexity of water today, municipalities all around Central Florida have different pH values. So to sit here and tell you what the pH value in your pool might be, or my pool might be, they're going to be different. It's just the way it is. So what we do is we ask the customers or consumers in our startup procedures and maintenance to test your pH at least twice a week. We have better ways of even doing that for you. You know, if you don't maintain the pH in your pool, and that's one of the 2 things that control your water chemistry is 1 is pH and 2 is temperature. Once you have the pH in your pool in balance, then you can properly balance your pool water. But pH is key. You got to maintain proper pH. If you fail to maintain proper pH, your pool will discolor.
But it's so cool. I mean, it's so easy to check the pH now.
Hey,
I mean, it used to be a mess.
You know, they say most males are colorblind, so we'll have to let the wife take care of the chemistry there. We give her either the reagents, the drip reagents, or the dip strips. The dip strips are very good too. It's an easy way in 15 seconds to read the entire pool chemistry. Now, there's nothing that's going to stop, or nothing better than going to the pool supply store periodically and having your water completely analyzed. You know, your dip strips and your test kits. Believe it or not, folks, they're everybody I see that has one, they're in the garage. That's the worst place you can put a test kit. It needs to be indoors. Your reagents break down by temperature. Your dip strips break down by temperature. So put those in the house. Put them in a cabinet somewhere. That way you can have fresh reagents and have a good, accurate reading.
Is it harder now that we've had 20, 25 straight days of heat indices over 100 to continue to monitor that? Does the pool have a harder time keeping itself the right pH levels when it's cooler?
Not so much we're not getting the rain. So the answer is you're going to still have to maintain pH. Each pool is going to be different. Right. So you might be pH blessed. Most people are not pH blessed. So I always tell people, if you need to put pH on the bottom line of the scale, if the pH in a pool is between 7.2 and 7.6, you need to be at 7.2 on your adjustment. That way, if you do 7.2, all it's going to do is rise. So all you do is lower it back down. Here's another cool thing out there. We have salt generation, chlorine generation today. We also have pH injectors. You know that pH issue? You got to go out there and adjust the pH and pool in a weekly or twice a week or once a month. We have injectors that read that system, and you fill a chemical vat up, and about once a month, every 2 months, you go out there and refill it. So what's really neat about it, as you're making chlorine, salt generation produces a higher value pH. So the chlorine generator is doing its job, but the pH injector is knocking that pH back down. Now you're guaranteed to have a pool that's perfectly balanced continuously 7 days a week.
Let's talk about your family's approach to helping the consumer decide what they want in a pool so that they have enough deck space for all their people. And do you also have affiliates that you can turn them to for the summer kitchen and some of the other things that come along with the outdoor lifestyle?
What's really different about what we do, and we feel we're a little different, is when we meet with a customer about a pool, we ask them what their needs are. What is a swimming pool going to do for you? Do you have kids? You got grandkids? You got brothers and sisters? Big family? Do you entertain? Not entertain? One of the biggest mistakes consumers make today when they build a swimming pool is they don't put enough pool deck in. Now, I realize budget's key too, but you know, going back and adding deck later is just not cost effective. So, you know, deck pour for entertainment space, and by doing this for 30 years or up to 30 years, is we have figured out and know what kind of space it takes to put lounge chairs and tables and grills and the walking space, and you know what you need and all the cool things that you can add to a pool. So what's neat about swimming pools is they're really endless. It's, you know, people ask me is what can I put on a swimming pool? You can put so many different features on a swimming pool and just create an atmosphere that is just, you know, the combinations are endless.
Less than a minute to go in this half hour. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what makes water so relaxing. Ever since the days of great Rome, there have been fountains and pools. Why? And we're going to talk about how you can get one in your backyard. But right now, websites and phone numbers.
TC Water Features, 407-282-4911, or visit us at tcwaterfeatures.com.
And we're going to talk LED lighting features. Boy, your pool can be beautiful at night. And we're taking your calls right now at 800-329-5858 or 407-290-0058. Pool fanatics, we're all pool fanatics on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Weather warnings first. Depend on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. The station Central Florida turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Orlando, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
Guests are gathering at a secluded estate in Rhinebeck, New York, where minutes from now, Chelsea Clinton will walk down the aisle. ABC's Lindsay Davis is nearby, along with many of the tiny town's residents.
Many of the people are gathered here in the street, hoping to get a glimpse of the Clintons, but so far they seem to be settling for the likes of actor Ted Danson, politician Anthony Weiner, and the Hollywood mogul Steve Bing.
Airspace above the wedding site along the Hudson River is now under a no-fly zone. Sightings of great white sharks near Cape Cod forcing officials to close about 5 miles of beach. What's attracting them? They believe it's the warm water. Floodwaters are receding in Pakistan's northwest as the country tries to come to grips with the scope of devastation. Officials say that more than 800 people are dead. Neighboring Afghanistan also being hit by floods. At least 64 people have been killed and hundreds of homes are destroyed. Daniela Bellotta, ABC News.
Weekday mornings 5 till 9. Get your daily dose of news, weather, traffic, and Jim Turner, Central Florida's morning news on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Depend on it.
Time and money. Midas wants to save you both. Come in for an oil change and we'll rotate your tires and visually check your brakes, all for just $19.99. That's an oil change, tire rotation, and visual brake check for just $19.99. Surprised? Don't be. Helping you save time and money. That's the Midas touch.
Up to 5 quarts conventional oil, taxes, and synthetics extra. Shop fees may apply. Most vehicles at participating Midas.
Getting ready for the first day of class is an extraordinary endeavor. A backpack full of school supplies is a key part of that stable beginning. Young Agents Council, a leadership group within the Florida Association of Insurance Agents, is collecting back-to-school supplies for children in need as part of the Smart for Kids campaign. The statewide back-to-school project helps children get ready for the first day of school. Your donation provides children in need with tools for learning. To find a drop-off location near you, visit FAIA.com.
Good afternoon. It's 5:32 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, and it's time to check in with the 24-hour WDBO Safe Touch Security Traffic Network. Here's Doug Stewart.
I-4 eastbound slow from State Road 536 to State Road 535. Congestion I-4 westbound Central Florida Parkway to State Road 535. State Road 408 looks good. There's a crash on eastbound State Road 528, the beach line. 2 right lanes blocked just before you get to the West Toll Plaza. This traffic report brought to you by Central Florida News 13. Stay connected to the new CFnews13.com. More video, easier to use, more of what you want. CFnews13.com, powered by News 13. On the station with traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, I'm Doug Stewart.
Chance of early evening thunderstorms tonight, then cooling off very slowly through the 80s. Overnight lows will be near 79 with a mostly clear sky by morning. By tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, highs near 95, and a 40% chance of more thunderstorms. And Orion the Tropics is tracking a tropical wave right now near Africa. It'll be towards the Caribbean by the end of this work week. In Severe Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Makins.
And the latest scan of the WDBO weather radar shows some showers beginning to develop in the DeLand area. There are some heavy showers over the Ocala National Forest right now and in Seville moving down towards Pearson. We'll let you know as those get closer to Volusia County and move through it into the Orlando area. It is 92 in Ocoee and 93 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station depend on it.
When it matters most, remember News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
We're back. It is the Pool Fanatics featuring Tony Caruso, the owner of Orlando Luxury Pools by TC Water Features. And those of you that are following the show on Facebook, we invite you to always follow our Ask the Expert shows on Facebook, because it gives you an idea of new subject matter coming up in the upcoming segments, and it gives you a chance to get involved in the program. So you listen to the program on your computer at WDBO.com. You minimize that so you can still hear the thing, and then you bring up and maximize your Facebook. You got that? You all are multitaskers. I'll tell you that right now. It's amazing. Anyway, we put on there that in addition to taking your calls at 800-329-5858, 407-290-0058 to talk directly to Tony, the owner, that we were going to talk about lowering energy cost for your outdoor water features, your swimming pools included. How do we do that, Tony?
Pump technology.
Yeah?
It's amazing. You know, earlier I talked about it. About 90% of all the pool pumps prior to 2008 are too large. People have the misconception bigger is better. Well, bigger is better in some things. I say it's bigger and better in a car, but it's not bigger and better in a pool. One of the mistakes that is made is I'll give you a good for instance. You know, a lot of 2 horsepower pumps out there. 2 horsepower pumps are capable of doing somewhere around 100 to 130 gallons a minute. Well, you do that over 60 minutes, and we're doing 7,000, 8,000 gallons a minute. We do 8 hours a day, and all of a sudden we're doing 64,000 gallons. We turn your pool over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. It's a lot more than you need to. What's really the key is slower is better, actually. Slower and longer is better.
There you go.
If I could slow the water down, which in little technical terms, I slow the velocity in the line down, I slow the water down, the pool is going to run longer, it's going to filter longer, it's going to sanitize longer, therefore your pool is going to be healthier. Here's how I look at it. If the pool runs 8 hours a day, it's not running for 16 hours a day. Well, 2/3 of the day, it's not running. So we look at longer. Longer is better. By running longer, you'll reduce your operating costs. And here's how you do so. If I had a 2 horsepower pump that's doing, let's call it 60,000 gallons in an 8 hour period, that's about 4 or 5 times more than I need to. 2 complete filtration cycles a day. Average pool's about 12,000 gallons. So if I could circulate 24,000 gallons of water in a longer period, my pool is going to be healthier and happier. Now, think about this. If I had that 2 horse, and there's a lot of them out there, there's thousands of them out there that are pulling somewhere around 2,400 watts. That's a lot of watts. Equate that to 24 100-watt light bulbs burning for the duration of your pump cycle. Let's say it's 8 hours a day. That's huge amount of wattage. I think that's going to come out to be about 18 or 19,000 watts or kilowatts. So how do you do that is if I put a smaller pump on there, smaller pumps pull less amperage. For instance, if you're pulling up motors 230 volts, which they are, and I pulled a pump that was pulling 4 amps, which is about a half horsepower, I'm pulling, 920 watts? I just took off 1,500 watts off your pool pump, or I just removed 15 100-watt light bulbs. And I just lowered my power bill right there 50%, 55%. That's huge. And you can do this and pay for itself in less than 6 to 7 months. Now, if you had a pool and spa where you needed higher volumes versus the pool, you get 2-speed. 2-speed technology.
Oh, cool.
So we have single speed, 2-speed, 3-speed, and variable speed.
What about the use of LED lamps? One is they're beautiful.
Light emitting diodes.
Yeah.
Before these LEDs come out, we had the little Snap-on blue colors, green covers, yellow covers, red covers, and the pool cleaner come along and suck them off, and the dog would chew on them, and people thought they were Frisbees. Well, in the market back then, and still is today, the white light gives your pool kind of a greenish tint. Well, you're also burning 300, 400, or 500 watts. It's all energy again. Light-emitting diodes, in most of them, are about 95 watts. They have endless color combinations. The one I use has 16 color programs. I still have white, if those of you don't want color. Let me tell you, a blue pool lit at night is phenomenal. You can mode set your pool. Most of them, the one that we use, has 5 fixed colors, and it has 11 programs. colors that change so slowly you don't even know they change. So if you're looking at energy and creating atmosphere, which we do a lot of atmosphere, is color changing is really cool. Now, every color is not for everybody, and there's ways that we can take colors out of that system for you and actually make color programs for you. We can also do music with that light, too. We can also do water with that light. So we can do water, music, and light if you really want to create a show. There's a lot of endless technology out there today, and automation is key. If you have a pool and spa, automation's key. It makes life so much easier.
And what is the most extravagant thing? When I first met you a few weeks ago, you showed me a book. What is the most extravagant thing you've done in Orlando? I mean, we've got some pretty phenomenal pools around here.
Well, I was blessed in 2008 to build a 4,006 square foot residential pool that had a 450 square foot negative edge trough. That's where the water falls over. I think I built about 180 square foot spa, and I built 7 waterfalls on that same job. I built a 45-foot slide with rockscapes, and we got fire bowls. It's LED lit. It's got blue stone finishes. It's fully automated. What's really neat is you can touch of one button, can turn the pool, all the waterfalls on, all the fountains on, all the fire bowls on, sanitize my pool, all by a touch of a button. I can heat my pool too.
Now, when you're saying 4,000 some feet, how big is that?
164 feet long, 83 feet wide.
What?
Yeah.
For a resident?
For a resident.
That's crazy.
It's fun. It's a challenge. It was wonderful.
Good
I'm
Lord.
blessed to do that. It took us 55 weeks to do the job, not because it took 55 weeks to build it. The house took probably about 18 months to build, and we were on the job for about 55 weeks. It turned out phenomenal. What a great group of people we built this for. They're wonderful people to us. We've known them for years, and we're very blessed and fortunate to be able to do so.
Do people tell you after you've done a pool and you come back and visit them periodically, do they tell you that it's totally changed their life, that they don't go in the house much anymore?
It's amazing what you can do. It's amazing. I mean, you've increased you've made me healthier. You've made me happier. We enjoy the pool. The grandkids love the pool. I love to go out and swim laps in the morning. Just great exercise. It's no impact sport. It's excellent for cardio.
For the people that are getting older, a lot of people would remember the old swimming pools that you had your 3-foot end and you had your 10-foot end, and you had to climb down some metal ladder. You've told me about walk-in pools and steady, nice. What do you call that? What's the phrase for that?
We call that a beach entry. A true beach entry.
A true beach entry.
Yeah, true beach entry is where you're just basically walking very gradually into a swimming pool. We've done many of those. We know we can do a key about talking about your pool. What do you want it to do for you? Do you want a sun shelf? Well, it's pretty prominent today where we call them beaches or benches. It's a very shallow area in a swimming pool that you can put lounge chairs for the kids, the grandkids, or a place for you to lounge, and then create steps into the pool that fits your lifestyle. I'm getting older, and most of us are getting older every day. Yeah. So looking for the future of building a pool that's going to fit your needs today as well in the future is important to us. So we don't like to build cookie cutter pools. We design, Tina does a wonderful job in the office designing swimming pools, and she takes the notes that I get, bring them back, and she reads my mind very well and puts this together for a presentation that is exactly what the customer looks for.
And this has to do with you sitting down with the family, with your family, which is cool, and saying, okay, the kids may want to dive in at one end. At the other end of the pool, we may want to walk out and get to a lounge.
There you go.
Everything has to be designed for those depths.
That is correct. And customers ask me today, they want to build a pool deep enough because their kids are going to jump in the pool. Well, every pool is not made for diving. Kids need to understand that parental supervision is key. It's the utmost important thing in a backyard. When you're in a swimming pool with your children, you must supervise them. Do not assume that they're going to take care of themselves. And when you invite the guest over, the kids from the neighborhood, make sure they all understand the depths of your pool so someone doesn't jump in and get hurt.
I've got a friend that's just designed a lock that goes in the top of your doors that the kid cannot reach, that you just flip a switch and it locks the top of a sliding glass door or the top of an outgoing door, so your kid doesn't disappear in 3 minutes and then is in the pool.
There you
go.
And
how often does that happen?
Well, it's all lack of parental supervision. In 2001, I think October 2000, they passed the model barrier code. And the model barrier code is you have to have a layer of protection between your house and your pool and from your yard to your pool. And it basically boils down to any door or window that has direct access to the pool shall be barriered. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
If you have a windowsill above 54 inches, you don't have to do anything to that. But basically, is if you have a door, you have to have an alarm. And everybody says, I do have an alarm, but you might have a beep beep alarm, but you don't have an 85 decibel alarm at 10 feet.
Whoa.
It's blaring. And the reason they did that is if you're on the other end of the house vacuuming the floor, you need to hear that alarm go off. So what's important is that's what's one layer. Then you can put in a child safety fence. If you have a fenced-in yard, it needs to meet the code. It has to be 4 feet high. If it's a metal fence, it has to have rungs and pickets at the right dimensions and right widths. It must be self-closing and self-latching. Notice something on your screen enclosure. If you got a screen enclosure, the door handle's at 54 inches. You know why it's up there? So the little kids can't get to it.
Yeah.
So that's another layer of protection. Or you can use an automatic pool cover or a manual fastened approved cover.
All right, Joanne wants to know about automation systems. Joanne, welcome to the show. You are our first inaugural caller, and I think that's just fantastic. Tell us your question.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I just heard you talking a little bit about automation and being able to turn on all of your pool systems with a touch of a button. And I just wanted to find out, are there low-cost automation systems out there, and what exactly do they include? What comes with that?
Well, glad you asked that. There's a new system on the market today, just came out here recently. It's called On Command. On Command. You can visit that at haywardnet.com, On Command. What it does, it can be a we'll call it a base entry system, for instance. It controls a swimming pool, spa, 3 electric motors if you had pool, spa, combo, or a waterfall. It controls heating. It controls lighting. It also has freeze protect built into it. You can run solar off of it, or you can group it together so it runs for instance, a blower on a spa. You want to turn the spa on. You want the pump on, the light on, the blower on, the heater on. Touch one button, turns it on. Or if you want to turn it off, you can touch them off individually. So the technology is out there today to automate your pool and spa.
And you got a follow-up to that, Joanne?
I don't think that's all. I think what I'll do is I'll just visit the website, and then then how do I, if there's something that I want to look into a little bit farther, do I contact Hayward or TC Water Features?
You would contact TC Water Features at 407-282-4911 or send us an email if you want. You can send us an email at tcwaterfeatures.com. There's a link in there on the bottom to do that. But give us a call. We'd be glad to come out and talk to you about it.
Hey, when we come back, this man knows swimming pools, and he's known them since he was working on the plumbing so many years ago. I'm going to ask him, how am I going to keep my pool warm and save energy? Because last winter was a bear, but I still want warm water to swim in. I want to swim in 83-degree water on the coldest day of the year. He's going to do it. 800-329-5858, 407-290-0058. The Pool Fanatics. We all are. And we're on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Traffic cameras, mobile units, even from the air. The best resources means the best coverage of traffic when you drive to work and when you drive home. Traffic on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
If the kitchen is the heart of the home, then Aggressive Appliances is in the heart transplant business. I'm Jerry Jascott from Aggressive Appliances, where we make a kitchen remodel or an appliance upgrade fun with our live working kitchens. We offer brands like Whirlpool, GE, Maytag, and KitchenAid, and we're Central Florida's leading dealer for premium brands including Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, and Viking. We've partnered with Central Florida's finest builders, designers, and developers for over 30 years. At Aggressive Appliances, your hard-earned dollars go a lot further. That's because no one has our white glove delivery and installation and our own team of factory-trained service technicians. Before you give your business to a soulless box store, remember, they don't have our lineup of brands, our flexible financing, and most importantly, they won't love you forever like we do. Check us out at aggressiveappliances.com and see why we are aggressively better.
Ah, another perfect day by the pool. The water is sparkling and the temperature is just right. Hi, this is Tony Caruso, owner of TC Water Features and host of the Pool Fanatics Saturdays here on WDBO. Your pool is your paradise, so why not treat it right? That is why we use the Totally Hayward system here at my company, TC Water Features. With the Totally Hayward system, I know that my clients will get the best components that will work together. So your pump, your filter, your heater, and your chlorinator are working at their best. At TC Water Features, we pride ourselves on building the best swimming pools in Central Florida. So it only makes sense that we use the Totally Hayward system. Hey, we're proud to be authorized Hayward dealers. So if you're ready to upgrade your current system or install a new pool, call me today. 407-282-4911. That's 407-282-4911. Hey, and tune in Saturdays at 5 p.m. for the Pool Fanatics here on WDBO.
CBC 050506.
Hey, everybody, this is WDBO Scott Inez, and I am here for the one and only Massey Cadillac. Bottom line, I trust them. I've bought one car from Massey Cadillac. I've leased another from GM Bill Hull. And speaking of Bill, he is here, and right now you guys are offering unbelievable deals, including a lease on an all-new 2010 SRX crossover for $429 a month, or a 2010 CTS for $349 a month for 27 months.
Scott, it's incredible. Not only are these the lowest lease payments we've offered in years, heck, probably ever, they're only 27-month leases. And you know what? On top of that, we've got 0% financing on every Cadillac model, and on most of them, up to 72 months.
Wow. Get into Massey Cadillac and see Bill when you get there. Massey Cadillac North, 2 miles north of Colonial on John Young Parkway, or south, just south of the Florida Mall on OBT, and always online, MasseyCadillac.com.
With approved credit, CTS $19.99 down, SRX $29.87 down.
Mr. Opportunity! Mr. Opportunity, can you tell us what you're working on? Yeah, what's the latest?
Guys, look, all I can say is that we're bringing the Honda clearance event back, okay?
Well, what does that mean for the fans?
It means now's your chance to save on all 2010 models.
Mr. Opportunity! Mr. Opportunity! Even a 2010 Accord?
Yep, the spacious Accord.
Well, what about a Civic?
Yeah, the sporty Civic.
What about a Fit?
Yes, the fun-to-drive Fit. Look, it's your chance to save on any 2010 model from Honda.
Mr. Opportunity, where did you find your new model? Yeah, she's gorgeous. Where'd you find her?
Well, thanks for noticing. She's a new 2010 Accord Cross Tour, and I got her at the Honda clearance event. I gotta tell you, the hardest part was choosing a color.
What about the rest of us? Do you think we have a shot at a deal like that?
Sure, but hurry in, because it's the only thing from Honda that won't last. Okay, that's all, guys. Look, I gotta go.
Mr. O, what were you doing in Rio last week?
No comment.
Mr. Opportunity, please, wait.
I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I'm knocking.
We are the Freestylers, and we're at the mall, spreading the word about Hello Balcony, Norwegian Cruise Line's free balcony upgrade offer. Hello, sir. What do you got there?
Oh, hey, it's a chronomatic watch, but I don't know if I should get it with or without a second hand.
Go with the second hand, because every second counts, especially when it comes to getting a free balcony upgrade when you book an ocean view stateroom to places like Bermuda, the Caribbean, and Europe.
Nice. So speaking of seconds, how many are left in this event here?
Well, according to my calculations...
Wow, pencil and paper?
Yeah, August 1st.
Oh, okay, definitely not long.
Yeah, but it's super easy to book and even easier to enjoy, especially since that free balcony upgrade allows you to get more for less.
Sounds perfect, actually.
Yeah, and choose from hundreds of activities, entertainment, and freestyle dining choices to make this vacation exactly the one you want.
Wow.
So what'll it be?
Well, hello, balcony.
Hello.
Don't miss out on Norwegian Cruise Line's free balcony upgrade offer that ends August 1st. Plus bonus offers on our newest, largest, and most innovative ship ever, Norwegian Epic. Book now at ncl.com, call your travel agent, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Restrictions apply, ships registry, Bahamas, and USA.
For local news as it happens, stay tuned to AM 580 WDBO, your news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
We're back, and we are the Pool Fanatics, featuring Tony Caruso, the owner of Orlando Luxury Pools, by the TC Water Features. And we are 7 minutes away right now from news, weather, and traffic. And wanted to talk to Tony. Now, we talked about the most extravagant pool he's ever done. Also, if you travel around Orlando, you're going to find that most of the fountains in this town were done by Tony. But now, all right, let's get back to reality here, pal. What average Orlando family has a pool in their backyard. They got the screen, they got the bird cage. What size is that pool?
About 360 square feet, somewhere around 12,000 gallons of water.
Mm-hmm. And the dimensions would be just
about
so they
15
understand.
by 30. You know, you can stretch
30.
it. Yeah, you can 16 by 32, depends how you stretch it, or a 12 by 30 rectangle. And that's about the average pool.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you, again, and what I love about this is your family sits down, you visit every pool site personally. You're not sitting in some ivory tower. And you talk to the family about how they're going to use the pool. How many people are going to have in it? That's going to help decide what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to wintertime. We may be experiencing one heck of a hot summer. But I remember about 6 months ago sitting in this chair with people calling in saying, it's never been colder in Florida. I can't use my pool. Well, that's kind of a waste. All right. Many people that you build pools for could use their pools. How do you do it?
Well, we start off by, if we're building the pool, is one of the things that we do is we put in floor returns. Wow, floor returns. Heat rises. I can reduce your energy costs by just putting in floor returns by as much as 30%.
Most of it's done in the walls, right?
That's correct.
By other pool companies.
That's correct.
Well, how stupid is that?
Well,
the earth is cold.
But the earth is constant. If we dug a hole down in the ground about 4 or 5 feet, the temperature's pretty constant.
But you're going with the heat rising from the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about heat, for instance.
Yeah.
If you did gas, not very efficient. Natural gas is more efficient or more cost-effective than LP, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only real way you're going to be able to heat your pool in the winter below 38 degrees, for instance, because most heat pumps go into a defrost cycle somewhere between 38 and 42 degrees, so the heat pumps aren't running. But the gas will. It doesn't know any different. It doesn't have any modules in there to say or sensors to shut me down at 38. So, but automation panels do, by the way. Automations have built-in freeze protect into them. So how can I maintain? I had a customer that says, I want to swim year-round in my pool at 91 degrees. How did I do that?
That's too hot.
Yeah, well, 91 degrees. Remember, it was 26 degrees outside?
Yeah.
First off, we had to have the pool pump not automated because it would kick it out automatically. Then we had to use a heating system that was not controlled by defrost cycles and sensors that's going to kick it out. We had to go to gas. We went to gas we use heat pump to heat the pool for its majority, but when the heat pump's kicked out, we needed gas to take over. Now, it's not terribly efficient, but you also need to consider if I am going to heat my pool, that is an investment. I must protect my investment. Mm-hmm. So when I'm done swimming in my pool, I need to either do one or two things. I need to cover it. Everybody sees the blue bubble cover. Well, those blue bubble covers end up in the garage somewhere. But there's a product out there. It's another alternative. It's a liquid solar blanket. It's Tropical Reef. We just cut the end, throw it in the pool. It dissolves a little alcohol-based product on the surface of the pool, and it stops the heat from escaping. It does a fairly decent job, somewhere around 60%. They're getting better in technology, but your bubble cover is only going to it's going to keep the pool within a few degrees of its heating value once you cover it up.
Excellent. So do you do solar at all?
We do solar.
Yeah.
But solar works in the wintertime, by the way. Solar does two things. It heats your pool up. Believe it or not, it'll cool your pool off. How do you do that? Very good friend of mine I built a pool for last year. He prodded me for about a month and a half, and he said that, Tony, my pool's too hot. I said, Larry, I'll just back an ice cube truck up to your pool and cool you off. And I was just teasing him. I said, Larry, please do me a favor. Run your pool at night. He called me up the next day and said, Tony, my pool water went down 7 degrees.
By running it at night?
Yeah, it's cooler at night. Roof's not baking. Most roofs are black. They're just sitting there baking and pulling heat in. So therefore,
well, there's probably hundreds of families listening to you right now that are saying, are we going to have to drain some water and put new water in because it's too damn hot?
I can't help you out with that. If you have a screened pool, you're going to be about 6 to 9 degrees cooler than an unscreened pool. I personally have an unscreened pool. My pool's 96 degrees, but I do have waterfalls and fountains. Turn them on at night, cools my pool off, gets it down in the upper 80s. It's very tolerable.
And how cool is that to have fountains and stuff like that in your pool,
man?
Oh,
grandkids love them. My dog loves it. Oh, yeah, it's great.
That's great. The dog in the pool.
I have a yellow lab that has as much fun as my grandkids do. I tell you what, when she's done, but it's blast.
Hey, we're getting down to the end of the show. We want to thank everybody for being on with us. Now let's talk about websites and phone numbers once again. This is so cool, people. This is opening up a whole new realm.
You can call us at area code 407-282-4911. That's 407-282-4911. You can email us at tcwaterfeatures at AOL.com, or you can email me at acaruso@orlandoluxurypools.com, or visit the website at tcwaterfeatures.com.
Talk about your website for a minute. Are there photos on there of ones you've done and stuff?
It's a work in process. We've been at it for about 7 months, and the answer is yes. We have mid-level, we have entry pools, mid-level pools, mid-range pools, and luxury pools. We have a section on water features, fountains, waterfalls. We have a small section on renovations. I'm not big on photographs, but I take a lot of pride in what we do, and I am taking more photographs to get on the website just to show you what we can do with a swimming pool. It's really, really endless what we can do.
Everything a little bit unique, right?
Everything's
no
unique.
cookie cutter.
No cookie cutter.
That is so cool. Now, we're going to do this every single Saturday. We're going to be talking pools. This can be a lot of fun. And you're going to be bringing a lot of experts in associated industries on, right?
I have a list of guests that I want to bring on board, and the reason I do that, but doing this about 30 years, I'm not telling you I know everything, and I'm constantly wanting to learn things, but I'm going to have people. We're going to talk about solar. We're talking about heating, control, service, endless.
All right, it's all coming up, and if you have things you want to know about, remember, we're on Facebook, or you can just email the station. Okay, go on the website at WDBO.com. Thank you so much, Tony. Great time. I think I'll go swim in the pool. News is next on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.